Hi everyone, my name is Emma McMahon and this is my persuasive speech. I want you to imagine walking into a room that's filled with smoke. Now imagine you're the one who's inhaling it. This is the reality for millions of people who vape, often without realizing the damage they're doing to their bodies. The vaping epidemic has taken hold of millions, especially teenagers, under the mistaken belief that it's a safer option than traditional smoking. But what if I told you that vaping is far more dangerous than you think? And the risks are only beginning to emerge. This isn't just about a habit, it's about your health, your future, and the health of those around you. As someone who has done a lot of research on the effects of vaping for this speech and because of friends and family participating in it, I now know there are a lot more evidence on the dangers of vaping now than there used to be when it first came out. I'm here to share what the research really says about this growing problem. Today, I will explain why you should quit vaping, not only because the risks of your lungs, but also because its addictive nature and negative effects on mental health. First, I will discuss the physical health risks associated with vaping. Then I will talk about how leading vapes to addiction. Lastly, I will talk about addressing mental health impacting vaping has on users. By the end of this speech, I hope to convince you that quitting vaping is the best choice you can make for your future. Firstly, I'll be talking about how vaping possesses serious health risks and is not the harmless activity as often made out to be. Vaping causes serious lung damage. According to the study published in Tobacco Control e-cigarette by Hugh 2021, use of one can lead to lung inflammation, which increases the risk of developing chronic respiratory conditions such as bronchitis or emphysema. Moreover, the articles produced by e-cigarettes contain harmful chemicals like formaldehyde and have been linked to cancer. Vaping also may contribute to cardiovascular disease. In 2020, recent research has shown that the use of e-cigarettes can damage blood vessels and increase the likelihood of heart disease. This is because the chemicals in e-cigarettes vapor can cause a buildup of plaque in the arteries, reducing blood flow and increasing blood pressure. As we've seen, vaping possesses serious health risks to the lungs and heart, but the damage doesn't stop there. Vaping is also incredibly addictive. Nicotine, the main ingredient, is in most e-cigarettes. It is highly addictive, and vaping is designed to hook users. Did you know that nicotine addiction often leads to increased usage, and nicotine triggers the release of dopamine in the brain, which reinforces the behavior of usage nicotine and make quitting difficult? This addiction cycle causes many users to vape more often and higher quantities, increasing their exposure to harmful chemicals. Addiction can also interfere with daily lives. The National Institute of Drug Abuse 2020 studies have found that nicotine dependence leads to difficulties in concentrating, irritability, and heightened stress levels. As the addiction deters, users become less able to manage their nicotine cravings, often resorting to vaping in inappropriate situations, further disrupting their personal and professional lives. Vaping is not only damaging your lungs and your heart, but is also leading you down a path of addiction that can take control of your life. The third point I want to address is the mental health risks that vaping possesses. Vaping can also lead to mental health issues. Vaping doesn't just affect your body, it affects your mind as well. Vaping is linked to anxiety and depression. According to the research from the National Institute on Drug Abuse 2020, nicotine addiction can cause mood swings such as anxiety and irritability. Additionally, studies have shown that the use of nicotine in adolescents can increase the likelihood of developing mood disorders later in life. The addictive nature of nicotine can worsen mental health problems. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC 2023, stated that your body becomes more dependent on nicotine withdrawal symptoms, can intensify, leading to greater anxiety, stress, or even depression. This creates a vicious cycle where mental health issues make you crave more nicotine, which in turn worsens those issues. As we discussed, vaping not only harms your body, but also your mind, making it harder to break free from this addiction and causing mental health struggles. In conclusion, the dangers of vaping are real and should not be ignored. Even though we're not much research about vaping, it is being a fairly new product. You now know it's bad for you in many different ways, so you should just quit while you're ahead, or if you haven't vaped before, try resisting the temptation, because nothing positive comes out of vaping anyway. Today, we have discussed why quitting vaping is essential for your health, well-being, and mental stability. The evidence is clear. Risk. It's addictive and it can damage your mental health. Firstly, we talked about how vaping possesses serious physical health risks, including lung damage and increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Second, how vaping is highly addictive, which makes it difficult to stop and interfere with everyday life. Lastly, vaping negatively affects mental health, leading to anxiety, depression, and other emotional problems. Just as we wouldn't walk into a room full of smoke, we shouldn't expose ourselves to the dangers of vaping. The choice is yours. Take control of your life, your health, and your well-being by quitting vaping today. Thank you.